Have you ever looked into the eyes of an aging parent or grandparent and seen something shift? Not something dramatic. Maybe it's the way they fumble with the buttons on their shirt. Maybe it's the hesitation before they step out the front door, like the world has suddenly gotten louder, faster, harder. Maybe it's the silence that lingers after a meal because they're too proud to say they need help, too strong to admit they're scared. And then that question starts creeping into your mind. Do we need to start thinking about a nursing home? Is that where we're headed? It feels like a betrayal to even consider it, but you also don't want them to suffer. So what do? Let's be honest, most of us grow up thinking that a nursing home is just inevitable. Like there's this point in life where we lose control and someone else steps in. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? What if there are better options, real, practical, affordable paths that let your loved one keep their freedom, their comfort, their sense of self? Because here's the thing no one really tells you. A nursing home might solve one problem, but it can create 10 others. Loneliness, loss of identity, emotional decline. It's not always the peaceful solution it's made out to be. For many families, just thinking about placing someone you love in a facility feels like you're giving up on them. It weighs heavy on your heart, like you're trading love for logistics. But you don't have to choose between care and compassion. Today, I want to show you that there's a different path, actually 7. In this video, we're going to walk through 7 powerful alternatives to nursing homes. Options you might not even know exist. These aren't wild ideas, they're real, working solutions that give seniors the dignity they deserve, and families like yours peace of mind. And I promise, the last one on this list might just be the answer you didn't even realize you were looking for. So before you make a decision that feels too final, drop a quick comment below that says, "Exploring options," if you're here to learn about something better. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and become part of the Elder Wisdom family. We're here to walk this journey with you, step by step, with heart, knowledge, and real care. Let's get started. Number 1, aging in place with home modifications. Think about your dad for a second. He's lived in that same house for 40 years. The creak in the floorboard by the hallway, the spot on the porch where he used to sip his coffee, the backyard he planted every spring. That house is more than walls and a roof. It's his life's story. Now imagine someone telling him it's time to leave all that behind. Wouldn't you fight for a better option? The truth is, he doesn't have to leave. Sometimes staying right where you are with a few thoughtful changes is the best choice there is. We're talking about simple home modifications that can turn any home into a safe, senior-friendly space. Things like grab bars in the bathroom, walk-in showers instead of bathtubs, stair lifts that make that second floor feel accessible again, motion sensor lights so no one's fumbling around in the dark. These aren't luxury upgrades. They're practical, powerful changes that give aging adults the ability to stay where they feel most at home. Now, a lot of people assume aging in place is too risky. They say, what if they fall? Or what if something happens and no one's there? But here's what's often missed. With the right setup and even just a few hours a week of a part-time caregiver, aging in place becomes not only safe, but empowering. It lets your loved one stay in control. And that feeling of control? That's where dignity lives. If you're not sure where to begin, start with a home safety audit. They're usually affordable, sometimes even free through local organizations, and they'll help you figure out what your loved one truly needs. But maybe your loved one craves more than just a safe home. They want connection, laughter, and the warmth of community without giving up their freedom. That brings us to the next alternative. Number 2, senior co-housing. Picture this. Your mother sitting around the kitchen table with 3 of her oldest friends. They're laughing, cooking together, trading stories about raising kids, growing older, and living fully. They each have their own private space, but they share meals, gardens, maybe even a hobby room. It's not a facility, it's home, shared. This is senior co-housing. It's not a new concept, but it's gaining traction for good reason. In co-housing, seniors live together in a shared home or small community. They split costs, support each other emotionally, and, most importantly, they avoid the cold, clinical feel of a nursing home. Think of it like roommates in retirement, but with purpose. It helps prevent loneliness, which is one of the biggest dangers for older adults, and it builds a sense of belonging. Here's where people get confused. They think co-housing is just another version of assisted living, but it's not. There are no schedules to follow, no staff taking over daily life. It's fully independent living, just with the bonus of companionship and mutual care. Want to get started? You can look into existing co-housing communities in your area, or even start your own with family or friends. It's more doable than you might think, but let's say your loved one still values having their own space, their own front door, but they're starting to need help with meals, medication, or errands. There's an option for that too, and it offers a balance between independence and support. Let's explore it next. 3. In-home care services. Now, close your eyes for a second and picture this. Your mom, still waking up in her own bed, still sitting at her favorite kitchen table, watching the birds out the window just like she always has. But now there's someone who comes by every morning. A kind, familiar face who helps her bathe safely, prepares a warm breakfast, checks her medications, maybe even chats with her for a while before heading out. She's not in a facility. She's not giving up her independence. She's simply getting the help she needs to stay herself. That's what in-home care is all about. In-home care services are one of the most flexible options available. They can be as simple as a few hours a week, or as comprehensive as round-the-clock assistance, and everything in between, whether it's help with dressing, cooking, cleaning, or managing medication. It's care on your terms. A lot of families wait too long to consider this option. They think, once we bring in a caregiver, it means mom's losing her independence. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Bringing in support early can actually prolong independence. It prevents burnout, keeps your loved ones safe, and gives you peace of mind knowing they're cared for even when you can't be there yourself. And the best part? It doesn't have to be overwhelming or expensive to start. You can begin by reaching out to a local home care agency. Some families even find a trusted private caregiver through referrals. And don't forget, some long-term care insurance policies, veterans benefits, or even Medicare Advantage plans may cover parts of the cost. You don't have to navigate the financial side alone. There are resources out there to help. But maybe your loved one still wants to live independently. They still want their own little home. But you worry about their safety in a neighborhood that isn't senior-friendly. That brings us to another beautiful alternative, one that offers a perfect blend of privacy and protection. Number 4, senior villages, naturally occurring retirement communities, NORCs. Now imagine this. Your dad still lives in his own condo. He waters his garden in the morning, reads the paper in the afternoon, and chats with his neighbor across the fence like he always has. But behind the scenes, he's part of something bigger, a support network, a village, literally and figuratively. Senior villages and NORCs aren't retirement facilities. They're neighborhoods where older adults live independently, but they're connected to each other through shared resources. They've got access to a reliable list of service providers, plumbers, handymen, health aides, who are vetted and trusted. They've got social events to look forward to, transportation services to help them run errands or get to doctor's appointments, and best of all, they know they're not alone. These communities are often created by the residents themselves. They're grassroots. They're about support, not control. Nobody's checking your room or telling you when to eat. You're still fully in charge of your life, but now you've got a safety net. A lot of people hear senior village and think it's a facility, but it's not. It's a community, one built on connection, dignity, and neighborly care. And you might be surprised at how many of these already exist across the country. They go by names like Village to Village Network or local community partnerships. Sometimes they naturally form in neighborhoods where many residents have aged in place over decades. That's why they're called naturally occurring retirement communities, because they weren't built for seniors, but they've become ideal places for seniors. If this sounds like something your loved one would thrive in, start by contacting your local council on aging. Ask about existing village networks or NORC initiatives in your area. And if there isn't one nearby, you might even be able to start one. It's more doable than you think, with the right people and a little bit of heart. But let's say your loved one isn't looking to be part of a village. What if the most natural, comforting place for them to be is right in your home? What if moving in with family isn't a burden, but a blessing in disguise? Let's talk about that next. 5. Multigenerational living. Now just pause for a second. Think about the warmth of a dinner table filled with 3 generations. A child laughing at their grandpa's old stories, a quiet hand on the shoulder from a parent who's seen it all. The comfort of knowing your loved ones are right there under one roof. Multi-generational living, it's not just a living arrangement. It's a return to something deeply human, a way of life that used to be the norm before busy schedules and modern housing scattered families apart. Imagine your mother waking up in a home filled with familiar sounds. The aroma of morning coffee, the kids rushing to get ready for school, a quick check-in before you head to work. It's not about hovering or losing independence. It's about belonging. It's about meaning. It's about being needed in small but powerful ways. When families live together, everyone benefits. The younger generation gets wisdom. The elder generation gets purpose, and everyone gets love. Some folks hear moving in with family and immediately picture stress, tension, or loss of personal space. And sure, it's not always easy, but it's not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be real. With the right conversations up front, it can be a beautiful experience. Talk openly before anyone packs a box about space, privacy, expectations, caregiving roles, and daily routines. Set healthy boundaries. Decide together how chores and responsibilities will be shared. Because when it works, it really works. You're not just saving money, you're saving time. You're sharing life. And for your loved one, the simple act of being near the people they love, that can do more for their health and happiness than any prescription ever could. But maybe your family isn't ready for a shared home. Maybe your loved one treasures their independence too much to move in, but still wants peace of mind knowing help is nearby when needed. Well, there's a solution for that too. Let's talk about it next. 6. Independent living communities. Picture this. Your loved one in a cozy, sunlit apartment. It's their space, their furniture, their memories, their routines. But just outside the door, there's a friendly neighbor waving good morning. There's a shared dining hall offering hot meals if they don't feel like cooking. There's a calendar full of book clubs, walking groups, movie nights, and bingo. It's not a facility, it's a community. Independent living communities are built with seniors in mind. Not to take over their lives, but to support them in living it fully. You get the comfort of private living, with the bonus of 24/7 security, emergency call systems, and staff nearby if needed. No nurses checking vitals, no hospital beds in the hallway. just peace of mind. Some folks worry. Does moving into a senior community mean I'm giving up my independence? Absolutely not. It's actually reclaiming it. Think about it. No yard work, no shoveling snow, no worrying about who'll fix the leaky roof or carry in the groceries. Instead, your loved one can spend their energy where it matters most, on friends, hobbies, and enjoying the years they've earned. Now here's the thing. Not all independent living communities feel the same. Some are warm and lively, others not so much. So don't just go by brochures or websites. Visit in person, walk the grounds, eat in the dining hall, talk to residents, ask how they really feel. Because the vibe, that invisible sense of belonging, is everything. It should feel like home. Not just a place to stay, but a place to thrive. And now, we've arrived at one more option, one that more families are quietly turning to, especially when they want the comfort of home. But the peace of knowing someone is always close by. 7. Adult foster care or family care homes. Now, close your eyes for a second and picture this. A quiet home on a tree-lined street. Not a building full of long hallways and loud carts rolling by, but a real house. A warm kitchen where meals are cooked fresh every day. A cozy living room where a few seniors sit together, watching the news, chatting, or reading in peace. And in that same home, a caregiver who actually knows each person by name, knows how they like their tea, knows that one of them likes classical music at breakfast, and another enjoys crossword puzzles in the afternoon sun. That's adult foster care, or what some call family care homes. Not a system, not a facility, but a home with heart. These homes are licensed, yes. They meet safety regulations, yes. But more than that, they offer dignity. A kind of gentle, personalized attention that's hard to find in larger settings. And here's something you may not have heard before. These homes often serve just 3 or 4 residents at a time, which means your loved one won't get lost in a crowd. They'll be seen, heard, cared for. Yet most families don't even know this is an option. It's one of senior care's best-kept secrets, and in many cases, it's more affordable than assisted living or nursing homes. With a lot more heart, if this sounds like something your family could benefit from, start searching by state. Look for terms like adult foster care, board and care, or family-style senior living. Many of these homes are tucked into regular neighborhoods, hidden in plain sight, and when you visit one, listen closely to how it feels. Do you hear laughter in the kitchen? Does it smell like someone's making soup or baking bread? Are the residents at peace, not just managed, but genuinely happy? Because in the end, it's not about ticking off checkboxes or choosing what's popular. It's about finding what feels right, what feels like home. And that brings us full circle, doesn't it? There's no one-size-fits-all answer when it comes to caring for the people we love. But you do have options, more than you probably realized. And now, you know where to begin. It's one thing to talk about logistics, but it's another to sit in that quiet moment when the house is still and you're staring at old family photos, wrestling with the thought that your mom or dad isn't as steady on their feet as they used to be. That ache, that worry, that silent fear that maybe you're not doing enough or that the next fall could be the last big one. It's heavy. I know, we all carry it in some form or another. Watching someone you love age, it's a kind of grief we don't talk about enough. Not because they're gone, but because they're changing, and we don't want to mess it up. But here's what I want you to remember. Aging isn't the end of independence. It's the beginning of a different kind of freedom. One that's supported. One that's shaped by choice, not fear. One that says, I may need help, but I still have a voice and a life worth living. So if something in this video struck a chord, if you caught yourself nodding or thinking, that might work for us, don't wait until it's a crisis. Take one small step this week. Call a local village network. Ask your doctor about home safety audits. Text your siblings about having a real talk. Even just writing things down on paper can be powerful. Because the sooner we shift from reaction to preparation, the more options we give our loved ones and ourselves. You're not alone in this. Not now, not ever. And while the journey may be filled with tough choices, it can also be filled with grace, with new routines, with laughter in different places, with peace. Let's walk that road with open hearts and with the dignity every elder deserves. Let's go over what we explored today. 7 alternatives to nursing homes that many families don't even realize exist. Aging in place with smart home modifications. Senior co-housing. Community without compromise. In-home care, custom help on your own terms. Senior villages and NORCs, grassroots support systems. Multi-generational living, bringing family closer. Independent living communities, freedom with a safety net. And adult foster care homes, quiet dignity in a family setting. Each one offers a different path. Each one is a reminder that elder care isn't black and white. There's room for creativity, for love, and for deeply personal decisions. Have you tried any of these? Do you know someone living in a co-housing community? Is there an option you think more people should know about? I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below. I read every one because this community matters. And if today's message helped you think differently about aging, help us spread that message. Tap that like button. It tells the platform this content matters. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Elder Wisdom, where compassion meets clarity, and where we believe growing older is not something to be feared, but honored. Thank you for spending time with me today. It's not always an easy conversation, but it's an important one, and you showed up. That means something. So until next time, stay kind, stay informed, and stay connected. Your elders and your future self will thank you.